what's up all you lovely learners out there in Learning Land? Tyler from 10thumbspro.com coming at you with another ukulele tutorial like we do every single Wednesday and Saturday. If you like this kind of content, make sure you hit subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss a tasty lesson. Today we're breaking down Get Back! Shout out to my Patreon PJ for making this one happen. We're going to walk you through an easy version based on what Harrison is doing, but I'm also going to show you what Lennon is doing for some cool riffs, and we're going to do the first solo. So there's a little something for all levels. Printable tabs, backing track up here by becoming a Patreon for this lesson and all our tutorials, but we're also going to have the tabs on the screen. So all you really need to learn is your ukulele, brain, and attention span. When you got those three things, follow me on in and let's go ahead and get back to where we once belong. Get back, JoJo. All right, so let's start with the harmony or the chords that we're going to need. We're going to need an A major. We're going to need a D major and a G major. All right, and so we're going to start off with an easy version of this tune that's going to use just these chords. The chord progression is going to be 3 measures of A, 2 of A, 1 of D, 1 of A. So without a strum pattern, our principal chord progression, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. For our strum pattern, because it's got this kind of chugging feel going on, we're going to do a down up mute. All right, now if you're a true beginner, you can do down up down. Just know anytime I'm using a mute, you can use a down if the mute is too difficult for you. Also, if the mute is too difficult for you, I'll put a link in the notes to a lesson on chunking. It's a valuable skill to have. So we're going to get, that's the sound we're going for. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It's really just down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'm just muting the second and fourth beats. Again, if that's too tricky, you don't have to mute. You can just do it down there. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Those are the two rhythm ideas. Now, if we apply that to our chord progression, we get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. There is occasionally a G, D smash, right? So on that last one, you get 2 measures of A, 1 of D, and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, boom. Down on a G on the third beat, down on a D on the fourth beat, and back to A, which is also the intro. So why don't we go ahead and just play through this as it were the intro. Jojo was a man who thought he was a loner, but he knew it wouldn't last. Jojo left his home and took on Arizona, headed for some California grass. Get back. And then we're into the chorus. So what we got going on in the chorus is we have the bow, bow, bow going on as well. But if you listen to it the second time through, the first time through, you're going to go A, D, A, G, D, A. Oops. So the second time through the progression, instead of doing our down, up, mute, we got George hitting the offbeat. He's going 1, 2, and. So what you're going to do here is you're going to do a down strum on the first beat, mute, and then down again. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Back to D like the same. 2, 3, 4. A the same. Bow, bow. And then you're in the solo. All right. So let's play through that chorus one time. Again, this is George Harrison's part. We're going to look at John Lennon's cool riffs too, which sound great played together. So we're going to take it from the top. Here we go. Get back. Get back. Get back to where you once belonged. Bam, bam, get back. Get back. Get back to where you once belonged. Get back, JoJo. Goes into the first solo after the first chorus. Now that's the chorus. Now I want to jump into John Lennon's rhythm part, which means we need to go back to the verse. Lennon will play the verse like this. Okay, so he's doing what's known as a blues shuffle over what George has got going. Middle finger, second fret of the A string, open E. You're going to pinch with your thumb on the G string and your index on the E string. You're going to pinch 1 and, then you're going to get your ring finger down on the second fret. But I've also got contact with my palm. It's kind of a cool angle. I have a little LCD screen so I can see. And I'm kind of loving this angle right now. Goodness gracious. So we get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and what I'm doing is after that, that's our A chord, right? If you make an A, you see we have 2 chord tones. I'm just dropping that idea, everything down a string for the D. So A, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and bam, bam. Same thing, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, boom. So let's play through the intro in the rhythm of John Lennon. Now this is just for the intro and for the verse, okay? So we get, I'll play through the intro and the first verse because I want to show you how that looks going into the chorus. For the chorus, it's completely different. So we'll get to the chorus next. Intro. Jojo was a man who thought he was a loner, though he knew it wouldn't last. Jojo left his home and took some Arizona, headed for some California grass. Get back. Didn't do the transition very well, but that's how that would sound, and you'd play that over the other part. Okay, cool. So once Lennon is leaving the verse, the do 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 do, he's entering the chorus. And over the chorus, he's going to play something that sounds like this. Pretty cool stuff. First fret of the C string, open E, second fret, third fret. And notice I'm using my index finger because I'm going to make this G7 shape, but up 2 frets, it becomes an A7. 0, 4, 3, 0. And when I get there, I'm going to do an up strum, a down strum, an up strum, a down strum. And that one, boom, is going to be on the 4th beat. So it's really slow. 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4. That'll happen 2 times. And notice everything in this part, what Harrison's playing is that A. C sharp is a chord tone. It's the major third of A in A7. Open E's the 5th. F sharp is the 6th. And G is the flat 7th. So that's what makes this A sound like an A7. All right. Once we do that, we'll do it 2 times. Okay, so we'll play that 2 times. Then the next time through, the only detail that's different is instead of this last G note, we're going to play the open A. So it goes same rhythm, 1 and 2 and this time we're going to jump to the D chord. Do, 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 do. If that little upstroke before is throwing your timing off, feel free just to do down, up, down, and a 4. But I can hear that little up there when he's playing, and it helps me with my timing. The next time through, you're just going to let that A ring, because that's when bam, bam comes in. All right? So Lennon's part in the chorus, the first 4 measures really slow. All right? If you want, you can throw in the bam, bam there as well, but it's kind of tricky to go, especially if the other ukulele is already doing that part. Bam, bam. Then when you get back to this next part, the second time through, and notice this is 1 and 2 and that's when Harrison's going. So you're going to feel that come together. Same, same, same. And just let that last note ring out, and then we're going to jump right into the solo. All right, so why don't we go ahead and play that part one time all the way through, nice and slow. Then we'll break down the solo, and then we'll do a play along. So here we go. All right, let's jump into the solo. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to learn is a Lennon lick that you hear over the A chord quite a bit in the song, and it sounds like this. All right, now you can also play a couple variations of this, really, however you want, but I'm going to show you the standard version of it, and feel free to modify it. You're going to slide with your middle finger from the 4 to the 6th fret on the C string, and your pointer finger will play the 1st or the 5th fret of the E. You're sliding from an E note to an F sharp to an A. This is all happening over an A chord. E is a chord tone. A is a chord tone. So if you know your root here, you can also move this lick. You want to play it over a C chord? It's all about knowing the root of your chord on this E string. So we get ring finger, 7th fret here. You're going to play it once, and you're going to play it again and bend it up a whole step. And you want it to sound like that C sharp. So you want your 7th fret to sound like your 9th fret. Okay, so up to there we get. Pinky fret's going to reach down and grab the 7th fret of the A string while you're bending on the E string, and then you're going to pluck what's already bent and come back down. So you get release, and you're going to play 5th fret with your index finger again, and then 6th fret here, and you're just going to slide down. All right. Now notice when I'm doing my bend, I'm not using 1 finger, I'm using 3, because it's only going to sound like the front finger. These other fingers behind just give me some extra bending action. So that whole lick we get. Tasty, right? And you can use that over any A chord in any song. And if you know how to move it based on this root, for example, I want to play over a G chord. I can do so by just locating that root and transposing the lick. Okay, so why don't we jump into the solo now? The solo is pretty similar. The solo, what we're going to do is basically two phrases that repeat. So the first phrase sounds like this. All right, pretty similar to our lick. We're going to start the same, slide 4 to 6, and then we're going to play index finger on the 5th fret here, but we're going to play it 4 times. So we get 1 and 2 and 3. All right. Then once we do that, on the 4th beat, we're going to play the 7th fret, and then on the and, we're going to start a bend. So we get 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. Same thing again. We're going to bend up, pinky, 7th fret of the A, then pluck this that's already bent and let it back down. Release to the 5th fret, up to the 6th fret of the C, but this time back to the 5th fret here, and we're going to slide. So that phrase, nice and slow. Sweet, sounds great. And then we jump into phrase 2. For the second phrase is going to sound like this. You're going to start off the same, 4 to 6, 5, 7 on the E string, and then the 5th fret, the D note, up here on the A string. But you're going to give it a little nudge, like a little blues curl. Then you're going to go down to the 3rd fret of the same string, A string. Ring finger will grab the 5th fret of the E, and then back to the 3rd fret with a little nudge. So the second phrase, really, really nice. Those two phrases together, medium speed. Those two phrases together, medium speed, we get. All right, that's half the solo. In the second half, the first phrase is exactly the same. The only difference is this isn't going to be and 4 and. It's more of a. So it's 4 notes that are more staccato and a little all over the place. You could play it exactly the same, but to get that timing right, you should really listen to the record because it is slightly different. There are some 16ths. And it's just a little more, it's a little looser. But it's the exact same amount. You still play it that note 4 times. So the second phrase would be. Very similar, right? And then we jump into the in, the last phrase, the 4th phrase. Starts off exactly the same. That's exactly the same. But then we have this last move up here. Oh, super blues lick. Most of this is kind of major country pentatonic. This is the bluesiest lick in the song for sure, because here we're jumping into A minor. 9th fret here, and you're going to bend 9th, try to get the 11th, and then you're going to release and play the 7th fret, and it's doing this all on the A string. And you're going to reach down with your middle finger and grab the 9th fret of the C string, the A note, and then the C note with your pointer finger on the 8th fret of the E string. Now the C note is not in A major, it's C sharp. So that's why this C note makes it A minor, which makes it sound blues. A little bit of theory behind these licks. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the second movement is pretty similar. This time we're going to bend from the 10th fret up to the 12th fret on the E string, back to that C note, 8th fret, 9th fret of the C, and then back to the 8. So the second half. But the same idea, bend, and then 3 more notes. Bend, note, 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 bend, and note, note, note. And noticing the similarities between those really helped me get this lick and the timing right. All right, so if we put the whole solo together, we get... Okay, so we put the whole solo together, we get... All right, so that's the whole solo. Why don't we go ahead and try to put on, why don't we go ahead and try to put all these pieces together and we'll call it our play along. Let's go ahead and jump into that. Song's really high, let's give it our best. Everybody, thank you so much for watching to the very end. I appreciate you. Again, think about subscribing. 10thumbspro.com. New ukulele tutorials every single Wednesday and Saturday. Guitar on Monday. You can also contact me if you're interested in private Skype lessons one-on-one via Skype or other audio visual conferencing platforms. 10thumbsproductions@gmail.com. Email me. 10thumbs t-shirts in those notes as well. And until next time, keep on rocking and rolling. Try to keep your mustache out of your mouth, and life is good. Take care of yourselves.